Cool. We're good to go?
Yep.
All right, guys. I'm back for another episode with Adam Young from Ringba, CEO of Ringba, here at Pelicon. Adam, pleasure to have you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Adam actually has a long history as an affiliate prior to creating Ringba. Why don't you tell everyone how you got started, what the industry was like back then?
Yeah, so, my first business was e-com, and I was selling store returns on eBay, and this is like when eBay first started. They didn't even have their feedback system yet, and I tried to run a physical business. I was a teenager, and it really didn't go well. I hired a bunch of my friends. I had no idea how to run a business. It was a really incredible learning experience for me, but it was super painful. And so then I went door to door. Only company that would give me a job was a door-to-door commission-only sales company. And so I went downtown Detroit in the snow, in the freezing cold, banging on businesses, like selling phone service through bulletproof glass, liquor store owners. Like, it was brutal. And then every night I would come home and try and make money on the internet, because I was like, I need to find freedom. I need to get away with this. I want to be an entrepreneur again. I want to create value. And so it was literally like 12 hours going door to door and then going home and working until I fell asleep on the futon in my parents' basement next to my computer. And then one day I discovered affiliate marketing. I discovered one of the first affiliate networks, and they offered to pay me $1.25 per email address submission on a free iPod Nano offer. And I stayed up all night.
2007? 2008?
Earlier, yeah. And I stayed up all night, and I got one lead. And I woke up on that futon. I saw the one lead in this shitty HTML interface, this homegrown interface, and I was like, this is it. I quit my job that day. And I knew that I could build a business in that industry. And so that's how I got my start. Yeah.
What was next?
At that point, I actually got talked into going to a trade show by one of the affiliate networks I was working with after I had sort of created some volume and a real business. And when I went to that trade show, it was just super eye-opening. I got to see so many different opportunities, meet so many amazing people. And then I realized that there were all these different types of promotional methods. There was email marketing and Google search and Bing and all sorts of mid-tier traffic sellers. And I just realized at that point that, there are thousands of offers and all these different traffic sources, and there are just so many ways to make money in affiliate marketing that I knew that at that trade show, that was for me. And I haven't left the industry since.
What did you find a lot of success with early? Like, what types of offers, what traffic sources, and what years were these too?
This was 2005, 6, 7, 8. And during that period of time, there were a lot of rapid evolutions in affiliate marketing. And I found my niche in lead gen, all different types of leads. So I did co-reg offers like the free iPod Nano. I did a lot of dating offers, people search, anything that was lead-based, not a physical sale or a physical product. And I really liked that a lot because I could get into the mind of the consumer, and it had lower CPAs, and that allowed you to get more conversion data so that you could try and optimize things. Because it wasn't like today where you have the Facebook pixel that you can just YOLO and you'll get traffic and conversions.
Exactly who you need.
Yeah, exactly. You had to do a lot of that legwork yourself. And so I really liked those offers, and I became really good at them. Yeah, it was great.
So fast forward to starting Ringba. How did you go from affiliate to, hey, I want to start a tech company? Was it to serve your own needs and then opened it up from there when you saw it working, or what happened in that time period in your life?
So the thing about affiliate marketing, and I call it the affiliate curse, is if you're running one of these lead gen offers, or you're running a Nutra offer or some type of e-com offer, it's probably not going to last. And so what would happen is every few months I'd have a big win and it would maintain for a little while, and then I'd have to go back to the drawing board, rebuild the whole business, and do this over and over and over and over again. I've probably done it more than 100 times on 100 different offers. And I made a lot of money doing it, but I never really created any value for anybody else. And as I got older, I realized I wanted to be more fulfilled, and I wanted to create something of extreme value that I could use my expertise, like all my fighting in the trenches, to help other people in the industry become successful. And I had been thinking about this for a long period of time, and my business partner at the time, Harrison, and I were running a really big click arbitrage business. And then one day, it just completely failed. Like 8 figures to 0 overnight. I had walked out into my living room, and I had these 6 giant screens in a half circle, and they monitored click feeds. It looked like the Matrix, right? Just like hundreds of millions of clicks a day.
Do you have pictures of this?
I do, yeah. I'll see if I can
Send me
find some
one,
pictures.
we'll put it in the video.
Okay.
It's like on the side, yeah.
And then, I walk out and the screens aren't moving. And I'm like, the internet's out. And then one line, bloop. And I was like, oh God, did the server die? Is Amazon out? Please be out. Like, I was like praying for Amazon to be down, but that's not what it was. And I got a phone call from Harrison, and he basically just said, it's over. Right?
What happened?
So they just weren't able to monetize the traffic on the click feed anymore. It was like razor thin margin, massive scale.
So you just got cut?
Yeah, we just got cut, and our back end laid off like 45 people the next week. We were essentially the entire business, and it was just over. And so I was like literally sitting on the floor of my living room, surrounded by these blank TVs, like literally spilled my bowl of Cheerios down my pants. And I stopped talking to Harrison on the phone, and I just looked up, and I was like, I am so sick of having to do this over and over and over again. There has to be a better way. We have to be able to build something that's sustainable, and I need to figure that out so I can help other people in the industry do that. And then serendipitously, one of our friends came over and showed us pay-per-call, and I realized that, this is the way, like this is the future. Big businesses that aren't going anywhere, public companies, they want consumer-initiated inbound calls. They want the high-quality consumer. And so you can really build an incredible business in pay-per-call and do it for the long term. You're not spinning plates anymore. You can get away from the affiliate curse. And that's when I knew that I didn't really want to get into the pay-per-call. I wanted to build the technology so that we could power this industry to create opportunities for other people in the space.
What does Ringba do that you don't see with other competitors?
So I think the biggest thing that we do differently is how we approach our customers and the market. And so we think about things as how do we bring the most value to our customers? Our mission is to actually help our customers grow. And so what we do best is sort of the entire service package and offering. So we have the most innovative technology. We invented a lot of the programmatic call trading technology that exists today. We power a lot of Fortune 500s that use that, but we also offer the industry-leading support to go with it. And so our clients get real-time support from highly trained engineers anytime they need it. Because when they have a problem, if they can't address it immediately in performance marketing, they're just lighting cash on fire.
Yep.
And so we really view our clients as partners and collaborate with them to help them build their business. And when we think about them as partners. And I know that may sound a little cliche, but we have that ingrained so far into our soul at the company. I view that as our largest competitive advantage.
I see that, man, because Sean Hitchcock is my guy, and anytime, like I'm not a huge call guy.
Sure.
We sell calls off the back of our data, but anytime I need any random like TCPA question, how we can make this work, like he'll answer usually same day.
Yep.
So like that, hats off to him and you as a company, and you're in the trenches with us as affiliates, which is super cool. Like this is probably the 5th event I've been in the last 12 months. And I've seen him, I think, at every one of these, and he's just sitting here having normal conversations. We were talking about traveling to Asia at lunch, right? So, like that's, I think that speaks a lot about you and your company, and that's why I wanted to sit down with you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. When we started doing enterprise support channels for our customers, I thought about kind of what you just said there, and I realized I need to be in the trenches. And so I'm in all the support channels with all of our enterprise customers. I read all the threads. I get highly involved in support. I come to the events. I man the booth at trade shows. Because I just really think when you can connect with your customers, big or small, doesn't matter.
Yep.
you can figure out what's important to them and then really help them design the future of their business. And so,
especially you get a Brandon Bowski 5 years ago. Let's say he started as the traffic affiliate, and then fast forward, he grows with you. You could grow with him.
sure.
Right? Like that's what's cool. Like that's what's cool about this industry as a whole, but also what do you guys do? What advice do you have for someone new as an affiliate coming in that wants to start doing pay-per-call or has recently started? What would you give? What advice would you give that person specifically? And then also someone that's more experienced and more advanced that wants to grow to the next level, whatever that is. What are the different? How would you communicate differently to those two people?
Great question. Yeah. So someone who's new and they're an affiliate, if they're coming over from any other segment of the performance marketing industry, one of the biggest hurdles that we see that people suffer with is the fact that in calls, you have to pay for technology, whether it's ours or someone else's. If you don't have your own tracking, you're at a supreme disadvantage and you're likely to not be successful. And so first and foremost, you have to have that, because with calls, it's not like a click or a lead where there can just be unlimited clicks and you throw more servers at the problem. With calls, you need a real human at that moment available to answer the call. And so if you don't have technology to optimize your call flow to make sure that those calls are going to those available humans in real time, the calls will drop. And then your CPA will go up. And so that's the most important thing. The affiliates need to get over the fact that there's a little bit of cost associated with getting technology put in place. The bigger companies that we work with on the publisher side, their real competitive advantage is actually how they use the technology to do their routing, to append data in real time to phone calls, to segment a flow of phone calls by demographic information, similar to how you would segment Facebook ads by demographic information, because certain buyers in certain industries will pay more money for people of a certain income level or a certain age range.
So like tier your pricing almost.
Yeah, exactly. And so the smarter and larger publishing companies, what they're doing is they're just using the technology at a much more advanced level to slice up their call flow and essentially sell it to the highest bidder.
Like at a premium. You could create an auction system, kind of like Leadspedio does on the data side almost, right?
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
How does, like, let's say as a publisher, how would I get that information? Would I have to match against my own database? Or does Ringba have something that matches it? I'm not super smart on this side of it. So
hey, it's okay.
Forgive how I'm wording this, right? But you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
I do.
How do they access that information if they don't capture it? Because obviously sometimes there's no form fill, right?
Yeah, so if they're capturing it in a form fill, we can ingest that data and tie it to the phone call and then use it. But if that information isn't available, we can append hundreds of demographic data points in real time based on the caller ID, and then use that information to slice up the call flow into different tranches or demographics, and then take that information and ping it out in real time to buyers, and they'll actually bid on the phone calls.
Interesting. Yeah, that's next level, man. Give me a minute, I'll get there. What are you most excited about today?
What I'm most excited about today? You know, I think the most exciting thing about this space is that it's still very new. And the fact that it's still very new and already, for instance, this year we've helped people make billions of dollars, which is just mind-blowing to me, but incredible at the same time. And there's an immense amount of opportunity in this space. No one as a business wants anything more than a consumer-initiated inbound call who's ready to buy their products and services.
So much more valuable
right
data, yeah.
now. And not only is it more valuable, you don't have to deal with outbound call connections, regulations on the data. You don't have to deal with the TCPA. You're not creating just huge churn of call center agents. They're not salespeople if it's inbound. They're order takers. They like their job. And so everything about this is just a long-term sustainable opportunity for affiliates. And that's what gets me most excited about it. Like, I have clients who weren't affiliates before, but like came in and they're publishers now and pay per call that have been doing it for years, and they knew nothing of affiliate marketing before this. And they've been able from day one to build a sustainable business that has value, and they're able to support their teams and their families. And I'm incredibly proud about that, but I'm even more excited about the fact that these folks can come into the industry and not have to deal with the suffering that I went through. Yeah, the affiliate curse, the churn,
Yep.
all that. It was just, it's heartbreaking to go through that over and over again. And now I get to watch my customers build real long-term sustainable businesses, which is awesome. A good friend and customer of ours who built his business using our technology, Anthony Sarandrio, spoke today. And he started as an affiliate, moved to calls, built a call business, and had a $50 million exit. And he was able to do that using our technology. And so that's just one of many hundreds or 1,000 success stories that we have. And that's what gets me really excited, is look how we got to impact the industry and create these opportunities so that people can change their lives.
That's kind of my last question.
Yeah.
I'll take a handshake too.
Oh,
man.
that's where I thought we were going.
My last question was, you're successful already. What gets you excited to keep doing this and keep growing and evolving? And
Yeah, so, I was in my parents' basement. All I really wanted was to get out of that basement, right? I wanted a nice car. I wanted to get out of debt. I wanted to not live in my parents' basement. And so money was the goal. And then as I got better at business, I realized that money's cool, but what I need to do is I need to help my team grow and my team get better and make sure my family's taken care of. And these were the things that were important to me. And I got fulfillment from that. But as Ringba started doing really well, I realized that what gets me the most fulfillment is really our mission of helping other people grow. It's our mission that's bigger than ourselves. It's that servant leadership mission that gets me out of bed every day. I work 7 days a week, not because I have to, but this is my favorite thing to do. This is my passion. And I really discovered that when I realized that I have this opportunity to help so many people and help them all build. And so that's what gets me excited. And there's nothing more fulfilling than seeing a guy who failed at something like I did, come into the industry. And I'll give you an example. I won't use a name, but I met a guy who wasn't sure what he was going to do. He wasn't in his parents' basement, but he had nothing, no calls. And I met him at LeadsCon maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and he just sat down and told me about his struggles. And I said, listen, man, let me help you do this. Let's work together. And his business did more than 100 million in revenue last year. And he's still a good friend, great customer. And I don't take credit for all his hard work, but I got to be part of that journey. And that to me is the most humbling experience and the most fulfilling experience that I could ever hope for. And so my goal every day is to just create more of those.
That's cool, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate
Thank
what you
you.
built. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How can they find you? Learn more about you.
Yeah, sure. You can find us at ringba.com. You can find me at adamyoung.com. And it's that easy.
You have an awesome show that you do almost every week, which is off on Offervault's YouTube as well. We'll link back to that. Maybe one of your favorite episodes if you want, or
Sure.
whatever.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, brother. That's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Thanks.